So this leads me to my last slide for this content, and we'll get into Bridget's excellent stuff in a moment. And that's to invite you to rethink everything, essentially. We want to create a welcoming space, and that's both a physical and a digital space. And so thinking about the words we're using in text and verbally, thinking about what the physical space looks like, thinking about what the digital space looks like, we need to completely rethink by doing assessments of where our collections show up, what words we're using. So I encourage you to do that for both your physical and your digital space. For the words you're using, I mean this both in terms of general conversation, but also any sort of formal communication. And, thinking about that last slide with those words that pop up quite frequently for our work, finding different ways to describe it and describe our collections and work in a way that is inviting. I do want to point out and emphasize physicality and tone of archive staff. Both Bridget and I do have retail backgrounds, which helped put us through school, and have chatted before how being in a retail space and learning customer service and learning to, greet everyone that comes in and treat everybody the way you would want to be treated. All of those skills and training have helped us be great archivists and working with communities and doing that community outreach. So when I talk about the physicality and the tone, I do want you to think like, did you have any like customer service experience in your background when you were, pre-archivist days? And if you did, great, bring those tools back out. If you didn't, I encourage you to think about this and think about how you as an archivist introducing your space and your collections as if you were a store of goods and inviting customers to come in to explore and perhaps use your goods, which is your collection. And then think about for the text, I'm heavy on the words this time, the guides, the catalog, websites, anything that's talking about your collection, make sure that you're breaking it down into a general language that is inviting and staying away from that exclusionist lingo. And then any sort of points of access, whether that is physical space, digital space, all of the points of access where your collection or, scheduling appointments pop up, make sure you've got inviting visuals, inviting language, even directions like, hey, email us if you have a question, or do you want to take a tour? Like, think of prompts that could encourage people to take that action to engage with you and your collections.